G'day, welcome to Pinky's Travel Adventures. I've got a few mods that I want to do to the van. Like, we just spent 3 months away and did a fair bit of off-grid, as in no power. And so to make it easier in the future and less stressful, I'm going to do a couple of mods and I'll run you through these now. So the number one mod that I want to do is the fan. Now, Jayco in their wisdom have put the fans above your head, which Tracy doesn't mind it, but I find it a pain in the ASS. Not only does it, I don't really hit my head on it very much, but when it's on, you've got to blow it down the length of your body. I'd much rather the fan blow up my body. So that one there is being relocated to here on the end of the shelves, and that should be a relatively easy mod. I'm just going to run a power lead through the cupboard and into here, because in here there is lots of goodies. So it's held on by 1, 2, 3 screws there, and 1, 2 screws there. So we'll just take those screws off now. So the screws are in there and there, and these two are actually at an angle, and this one is at an angle that way. So you've got to get square onto them. They're very small headed chipboard screw, and you've got to get the screwdriver lined up exactly to get them out at the right angle. Now that we've got the screws out, this just moves, and because this is where our wiring from the roof comes through, you can't really take it off, but you can pull it out and out of the way. There we go. Out of the way a bit, and just lift it up, and there's lots of stuff under here. Look at that. So it's all wiring harnesses. You got your TV aerial, the white lead coming down from the roof, from the aerial in the roof. This is your 240 volt going through the switch there and going up for your air conditioner. This wiring harness here, I have no idea what that's for because it's not used. I'm assuming it might be for a 3-way fridge. The electronics for that, I'm not sure. I'll have to get my glasses and read those cables. But I've got a spare up here. This is the wire that normally goes to your Wi-Fi device that's in the cupboard there. It also powers the USB or cigarette lighter socket on the wall here. That's just this one here. So we're going to pick up that power and run it through to the fan. So the first step is to clean out the cupboards, and I've done that. Here we go. Mostly empty. As you can see, there's a bit of a triangle there, so we can get the cable through there quite easily, and it'll go up here and out this hole here. I'll have to take that cover off so I can get access into there. So as you can see, this cover doesn't cover up much really, just a bit of a hole there which the cables go up into the above the fridge. So I've rifled through my spare parts box and found a nice length of figure 8 cable, black stripe on one side, which makes it easy to identify. I use black stripe as negative, so that's the way I'm going to wire this one up, and I'm going to put some terminals on here to let it to piggyback and jump into the connectors above the fridge. So I'll do that now before I feed the cable through the cupboards. So I've split the pair a bit. That's my black stripe, so that's the negative, and the positive just has a spade connector on it, which I then crimp on. nice and tight. And then this is a double adapter that I got from J-Car. So we'll use the double adapter. Make the head poke through. Grip, swish, and see if it's secure. Yep, all good, ready to connect and run through the cupboard. So that's where the cable goes through. You might be able to just see a bit of light there from in here in this cupboard. So we'll feed the cable down through there and then along. It's a lot easier to feed it that way. It's poked its nose through, and we'll grab it and pull it in, because we only need about that much in here, and then we'll just feed it through the holes up to the other end. So just pull it through. There it is. We'll just put that up here for a moment. Now we're going to tidy up all this bit and hook it up. I'll get some cable ties and just cable tie that to there, and then when I get some blue tack, I'll just stick it in the groove there, and that'll hold the cable out of the way. Now comes the task of removing the Sirocco from its spot on the wall and relocating it. So let's start. Well, it's simply held on with a couple of screws. Well, we take them off here, and there's one at the back behind it. And pull the screws out. Slides up, power lead comes out, power lead connected there, and take that off the wall and relocate. So there's plenty of lead power cable, and that's the positive and that's the negative. So I've just taken the positive off for now. I'm doing this live, so it's still active, so I'm going to put some tape on it. So put the tape on it, and now we take the other terminal off, and they're not very tight. There we go, fan's free. Don't lose your bolt and washer. I'll just put those up on top of my cupboard, and now we take this off the wall. Easy job, just 2 screws. And it feels like a bit of double-sided tape on there somewhere. Yep. Double-sided tape, which we'll have to peel off. There's a big hole. Why a big hole? So we pull the wire out with the contactors still on it. I had to feed one through before we could pull the other one through. So now that's the base plate, and we have the fan. We'll come back to that later. Well, the challenge is to find the position to locate the fan as best that would suit you. Well, I've found, this is a bit hard with one hand, I've found for me, I'm going to mount it there. Okay, So that gives me fan on across the bed, as well as I can relocate it around to face out to the center of the caravan. So if we're sitting down eating dinner, we can have a fan blowing. Okay, now to mount it. So the screws are long enough so the double-sided tape still had enough sticky in it to hold it into place, and just pop those 2 screws back into there. Now let's drill a hole for the electrical cabling to come in. I drilled a new hole there. I didn't go into that one, I just wanted to make it a bit lower so it comes in a bit lower inside the cupboard. Run the wire in there along and up, and that'll hold on with blue tack. And now we can put the terminations on and set it. I'll just put some thermal ends on it, and now let's hook it up. So now the cables are hooked up, and I don't know if you notice these are keyway, so it's got to drop in this direction. So it goes over and then down, so they're locked in place, and then you put those 2 locking screws back in and she's mounted. There we are, she's bolted on, all good. So there she goes, she's on. And I can swing it out to go that away, tilt it down to the table, or I can swing it out, tilt it down to the bed, or out of the way to the bed. Awesome. So the only thing left to do now is to clean this up a bit. So a little bit of the double-sided tape is left there, and I'll pull that cable through, which is just in here. See, it's very loose, and that plate there can come off because it's not protecting anything, and we just have to put something up there. So I've taken off the cover that was inside the wardrobe over there, and just put it on there to make that look like it was done by Jayco. I need to cover that wire in a black split conduit, but we can do that another day. And this is the cupboard we keep all our insect stuff in. So the sprays, other sprays, and if I want to keep things from rattling, tablecloth. And I also set the remote controls for the television in there, because they're easy to get to. In this wardrobe it was this huge cover, so I just took it off, and so the Sirocco fan wire plugs into this harness here. So if I just disconnect that, they're shielded, and I can just put the cover back on, and that gets rid of that wire. And it looks like there's plenty of 12 volt power here for other reasons. I was thinking of putting a light in here, which I might do, because there's plenty of 12 volt there. That's another job for another day. So we'll just clean that up in here, and then I'll attack that out there. So the cover's back on, so the cupboard's back to normal. Well, I've rubbed the double-sided tape off and left with a couple of screw holes and a big hole. Not sure what I'm going to cover that big hole with, but I'll think of something eventually. But you can pick up these screw hole covers from your local Jayco dealer. Just take one from your current van into Jayco, and they have a range of about 20 of different colours. So you want to get a colour that matches, and you can just stick that over the hole and you don't see it. There you go. That's the end of the fan move. Enjoy our next video, which will be about the Starlink 12 volt setup and getting the spider to work with it. Bye for now.